Hello, everybody. How's it going? My name is Klaus. This is my house. And before we get into the episode, I just want to kind of talk really quick. Um, I'm going to be building an adder in what you're about to see, but there were some issues with it. It seemed like the logic gates weren't really working properly. And I'll go into that in the video. So, more or less, what you're about to see is a fail. But I decided to let you see the progression of what happened. So, it's going to start out like a normal tutorial, and then you're going to basically see what happened and why it wasn't working. I just got home, turned on Steam, and I have a Fallout 4 update. Now, I'm hoping that this is a patch to the problem. I'm actually going to be attempting to redo this immediately after. So, consider this a part one. Anyways, without further ado, enjoy the video. Hey everybody, how's it going? My name is Klaus, this is my house, and I was perusing through the new DLC stuff, and might I say, I feel like this is what Wasteland Workshop probably should have been more like. This added so much content that it was insane. But you might be wondering what you're looking at. And what we're going to be doing today is making an adder. There's a bunch of logic gates in here. In the advanced switches, and my God, the electrical engineer in me could not resist. So, first things first, you basically are going to need, and we're going to do a 4-bit adder. You can do 1-bit, 2-bit, however many bits you want. But basically what you're going to need is you're going to need 4 switches per number. So I have number A and number B, and you'll basically hook them up. So each switch is responsible for a single light. So like this switch here will turn off the first one. This one is going to turn off the second one, and so on and so forth. If you're familiar with binary, don't worry about what I'm going to say. If you're not, these are not too different from your typical number. So we work in decimal numbers, so that's base 10, and every digit of a number is represented as a power of 10. So the first one, I'm sure you know, is the ones category, and then you would have the tens and the hundreds and the thousands. Well, binary is very similar, except it's in powers of 2, so it's actually 1, 2, 4, and 8. And that's pretty much how these numbers are constructed. Now, if you want to figure out the exact value in decimal, you can do that. That's why I've put these labels here. So A and B are both currently the same number, and it's just 1 plus 2 plus 4 plus 8. So it's going to be 15, right? Because 1 plus 2 is 3, plus 4 is 7, plus 8 is 15. Anyway, so both of these numbers are 15. And that's just basic binary. I'm not going to go too much into it. If you really, really, really want to know, you can go look it up online. I'm sure there's much better tutorials than what I have shown you. First things first, though, what we're going to do is we're going to need to actually hook up our lights. So think of these as bits, and what I've done back here is actually gone ahead and labeled everything. So this is going to be my first bit, labeled it 1. This is going to be the sum of the first bit. So like this one here, we're going to attach the first bit of our letter C, which is going to be our final number. Now to connect these guys up, C, and I probably made a little bit of a mistake. This is not related to this at all, right? That's going to be our sums. The C's that you're seeing down here are actually what we're going to be calling the carryover. In binary, 1 plus 1, it's still 2, but it's represented as 1, 0. So it's the same thing. If you did 5 plus 5, you would get 10. You would put a 0 there in that ones place, and you would carry the 1 to the next place over. It's the same deal. So this is going to keep track of all of that carrying that we're going to have to do. So you don't have to connect the first one at all, but you will have to connect the second one to the carry output over here. In fact, I forgot to put those except for the one on the very end, which this C is the only important one. This one actually goes to the last digit of our number over here. I'm going to have to go and put these all up. I don't think it's going to work all that well. So if we went from here to there. Okay, cool. So first bit of A goes here. First bit of B will go there, and this first carryover digit is always going to be 0. For the first one, it's always going to be 0. Anyways, what we're going to do next is start setting up our stuff. So I'm going to wire all of these guys up, and then I'll show you exactly what we're going to need to make the adder. All right, everybody, so we have all of our inputs, and we've even hooked up our outputs. This is just the way that I've done it, but you can see it's kind of a mess of wires. You can use the conduits that come with the new DLC, but just trying to do this quick tutorial. I'm not really going to worry about it a whole lot. So the parts that you are going to need, and I'll throw the diagram up in some place where it fits best, but you're going to need 2 exclusive OR, that's XOR. You're going to need 2 of those. You're going to need 2 ands, and you're going to need a single OR. And more or less, that's all that we're really going to need. I've laid this out so it looks very, very similar to that diagram. So let's go ahead and at least get the first one hooked up, and you can kind of see where it's going. And then I'll just probably do the rest by myself and show you what the end result is. So the first things first, what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to exclusive OR the A input and the B input. So the way that this works essentially is that with exclusive OR, you're only going to get a 1 if both of those inputs are different. So if it's a 0 and a 0 or off and off, then you're going to get a 0. If it's a 1 and a 0, you're going to get a 1. If it's a 0 and a 1, the other way around, then you're going to get a 1. And if they're both 1, you're going to get a 0, which is what's happening here. We have 2 1s coming in because all the lights are on right now. So the output is going to be 0. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to take this sum, this output, and we're going to put it as an input to the next exclusive OR. Now you can see over here that it's all nicely laid out for you, that the power conduit, one of them at least, is coming in as a 1. The other one is coming in as a 1, and then the out is a 0. So that kind of confirms that. If you want to look up these logic gates online, go ahead. You can learn a lot. There's a lot cooler stuff that you can do with these than we're doing today. But I think this is a good base. If you guys enjoy some of this stuff, we can probably do some more complicated tutorials. Anyways, what we're going to do is we're going to take our carryover. Now, again, this is a 0 because we have nothing hooked up to it at all. And we're going to put it on this guy over here. So there we go. Basically, we now have our first sum, but we're not quite done yet. The next part that we're going to have to do is we're going to have to AND our sum. So we're going to take the output again, and we're going to put to an input on here, and AND it with the carryover bit, which again, since we're not carrying anything over, is still 0. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to AND our A and B. Now you might be asking why we're doing this, and basically it's when you sum these guys up, we're going to get a 0 here, like we see. Our out is 0. However, we know that 1 plus 1 is 2. In binary, that's represented as 1, 0. So 0 is okay, that's our sum, but we need a 1 as a carryover bit. So we're going to take these 2 inputs, and we're going to have them AND each other. Don't glitch out on me. Don't you, it's glitching out on me. Yeah, so it's saying both power conduits are hooked up. This is one part of the DLC that you're going to kind of have to keep an eye on, is it does get a little weird here with all of the wires, and I don't get it, but it happens, and it's crashed my PC, and it's not fun when you're like all the way through this and then your PC crashes and you lose it all. Anyways, save often, people. So what you're going to do to end the circuit here is you're going to take this AND and put it in there, and you're going to take this AND and put it in there. And as you can see here, with our OR, if either one of them is 1, single 1, or both of them, we're going to get a 1 coming out. Now, what we're going to need to do is take that and then pull it for our next C. This is our carryover bit. We have a 0 as our sum and a 1 to carry over. And essentially what we're going to do is we're going to hook it up the exact same way. So we have A and B, right? 1 and 1 should still get us 0. That's fine. We're going to take this exclusive OR, and we're going to put it into the next one. We're also going to take the output and put it into the AND. The next thing we're going to do is take our power conduit and put that into the AND as well. And then we're going to take our A and put it in the second AND, along with the B into the second AND. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take these two and pop those in there. And we're also going to take our output from the first exclusive OR and put it over on sum 2. So more or less, this is how we're going to end up working this bad boy out. I'm going to go ahead and just check this really quick. I'm going to save. I'm going to try and redo this weird conduit nonsense. And then I'll be back with the final result. All right, really quickly, I just realized that I didn't hook up our carryover bit to this exclusive OR. That is actually a big deal. So FYI, don't forget to do that step like I have. That's where the logic can kind of start getting a little bit fuzzy. So be very careful as you're doing that, and just remember that this carryover bit has to go into the second exclusive OR and as this AND as well. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. I am going to wrap this up, and then I'll meet you up on the top there, and we can talk about it. All right, so I have a really good example of a glitch right now. And that is the fact that I'm adding 4 and 2, and I should be getting 6. Now, there's some like really funky stuff that has been quite odd, to be honest. For example, this has an input of 1 and 0, so the output should be 1. But for some odd reason, it's 0. When I hide this stuff and I select it directly from the gate, I end up getting the right response, which is kind of odd. So like now we're getting the right answer. So basically, I thought that I could take this and put it to here and then split that off, and then that caused problems for some reason. So then when I was like, oh, well, it's the conduits that are a problem. So I removed the conduits and I pulled both lines from here to there, but then that ended up messing up as well. But then for some reason, when I took this one and ran it to there, and then I took this one to a conduit and then ran the conduit, everything works fine. I don't get why that is what it is, but it definitely is. Alrighty, everybody, it's time to do a little bit of math. So I think this is pretty obvious. 0 plus 0 is 0. More or less, that is it. But we can see this really start to come into effect. Like, let's say we just say 1. 1 plus 0. Fuck you. I swear to God, I thought I got it working. But okay, we have a 1 and a 0, right? And over here, we look at it. Okay, it's a 1 in and a 0 in, 1 out. That's right. We go to the next one. We have a 1 in and a 0 in and a 0 out. What the this one right here just shows if you have a 1 and a 0, you get 1. Why is this one all of a sudden if a 0 and a 1, you get 0? I don't know. Someone needs to fix this shit. I swear to God, it's got to be this stuff. Let's just do it. Let's do an experiment. Let's do an experiment. Oh, it's still kind of not right. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna take it from the input. Nope. Nope. Take it from the input. Down there. I don't get it. I don't get it. I'm having a hard time getting it. Alright, we'll just do a completely different one. I don't get why this one's so broke. Why are you so broke? This is killing me. All right, guys, I didn't have a whole lot of footage, but I do have this part here where I was debugging stuff and I was being very quiet. So I'm just going to play that through in a little bit of fast motion for you. And anyways, you should get an idea for how it should work. It does end up breaking in the end, same old bullshit issues, but whatever. You guys might as well see exactly what I was trying to do at least. All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed that episode with all of its ups and downs. If there was anything else you would like to see, let me know. We can move into subtraction, division, multiplication, all sorts of stuff. I have an idea for extending this to something that actually might be pretty sweet. We just need it to work. So I'm actually going to go right now and I am going to try and rebuild this shit. And hopefully, that little patch that we had for Fallout 4 fixes this bullshit because I'm over it. I'm so over it. But really, I'm going to give it one more try. Hopefully, it turns out well. Let me know what you guys' thoughts are on this video. Should a Bethesda possibly check their game logic a little bit before? I mean, these guys are fucking computer scientists and engineers, for Christ's sake, and they can't do logic gates? Yeah, but still. I hope that you guys have enjoyed this episode. If you did, let me know down below in that comment section. If this is happening to you, let me know. Vent your frustrations. Trust me, I feel your pain. Anyways, have a great day, great night, whatever it is to you, and I will see you back here next time for some more Building and Fallout 4.